Hello again everyone and welcome back. So I am now here with week 9's premise, or what am I saying? Prompt. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold, so if I say weird things it's because my head is just not with me. But yeah, so the prompt for week 9 was escape. And I actually had a bit of a hard time trying to think up what I wanted to do for this one because, I don't know, I didn't want to do something too obvious where it was like a jailbreak or something like that, where somebody is genuinely trying to evade capture. And so I thought about it. I hadn't done any sketches for this one. I just was feeling down the whole week. My system was just not feeling too great because of the virus going around, and so I just avoided my sketchbook and this prompt in general. I just wasn't feeling up to it. And then, well, yesterday afternoon, I just came up with this idea. Now, Pete is from one of my penguins, and I love drawing these guys. I used to love drawing them all the time, and he's a bit of a wanderer. He likes to travel and stuff like that. But, so for escape, for this one, I wanted him to be daydreaming about being somewhere sunny, on a warm beach, where there's a beautiful sunset happening, soft sand and things like that, while he's in the Arctic. So he's always a big dreamer. Even though he's terrified of the world, he still likes to travel. So I still hope to one day do a proper story for Pete on his own. Right now he's featured in another story which I'm trying to fix and get published. And yeah, so Pete is a traveler. He loves to travel even though he's terrified of the world. So a bit of an oxymoron, but I think that's what makes him so cute. And so yeah, I did this piece in gouache because my penguins need to pop, and I normally do the penguins themselves using my pro markers, but I didn't want to do it in this case. I wanted to do everything in the same medium, partly because I'm just so tired and feeling under the weather, and partly just because I wanted to experiment a bit. I wanted to see how it would look if it was all just in one medium, because normally I would do the penguins in pro markers and then the background in gouache, and it makes an awesome effect. Lots of my previous pieces on that actually turned out great and I love them, but I just wanted to test it out, so that is what I did here. And towards the end I was deciding what I was going to do. Was I going to bring in a pen to hardline, or was I going to try and leave it? But I didn't want to do multiple layers for shading and whatever else. I wanted it to look a bit flat and cartoony. So in order to make it really stand out, I needed to have a hardliner of some kind. So I used the old faithful Pentel Brush Pen, which I love. I really, really love that pen. And yeah, it turned out really cute in the end. I'm satisfied with this one. Am I crazy about it? No, but it's cute, and that's kind of like the artist's cheat, is to fall back on your OCs, your original characters, when you've got nothing else in your bag of tricks. And it works. I mean, as long as it gets the creative juices flowing and you get moving, that's the main point. Eventually, at some point, you'll do something better and different. So there's no point in stressing yourself, because that's how burnout happens, and very quickly. So I was just basically taking my time. I was a bit shaky still from this cold, and if this was being played in real time, you would see how badly my hand shakes. Maybe you'll see it when I do the hardlining, how there's lots of strange lines happening there. But in the end, I still like it. It was really more of just like a creative doodle, I guess. So I'm not too harsh on that fact. But yeah, I liked it, and it's meant to be, you know, he's dreaming now of this ocean scene. The thing around his neck is not some kind of like floaty thing for pools, it's actually a scarf. I just didn't draw it properly, and just with the positioning and everything, I was an odd angle, but I just was in a rush again. Since I hadn't had the time to actually draw it out this week properly. That's becoming my regular excuse, isn't it? Let's just stick to that. I should take my sketchbook back with me this week and this coming weekend, actually do some proper sketches for the next prompt. But yeah, like I said, I really liked how this came out. I decided I wanted it to be his silhouette. So, in the dream, so that there didn't have to be too much detail and not distracting from, you know, his actual character. I wanted him to be slightly smaller than what's happening in the dream. The dream is supposed to be the main point because it is the escape. And so, you know, for me, it's the same thing as with Pete, you know. I often have very vivid dreams. I don't know about you guys. And I go places, I travel, I see things, it's great. And everything's in full color and often very realistic. My brain has this weird quirk that if things start to become too phantasmic, like I'm starting to fly or something, my brain very logically says to me, wait a minute, this doesn't happen in reality. And then I start to wake up. And it does that all the time. So having very bizarre, outlandish dreams don't happen so much anymore. Not as much as it used to in my childhood, because my brain is just, I guess, too rigidly logical, saying, sorry, that's not gonna happen. In a way, that's great, because if I start having very strange nightmares, my brain kind of catches on quick and it wakes me up. So, no long-term trauma, hooray! But yeah, working with gouache here, I have to say, it's still something I need to work on. I love the gouache. I'm like absolutely like attracted to it again. Like there's this pull for me to work with gouache, but I'm not bothering to take the time and relearning the, you know, how to use the medium, and I really should, because it is a great medium. You can do so much with it, and the effects can be so beautiful, but I've been so lazy, and I really should, you know, pull my socks up and stop being lazy and actually take the time to work on it. One, I don't really have time anymore as much as I used to, and two, I just don't have topics that I'd really like to do in gouache. I know things that I could do very easily in watercolors, but I don't have really a topic for gouache. I have ideas like animals, because gouache makes great textures, but I've just never gotten around to it. And now here I am hardlining with my good old faithful Pentel Brush Pen. Oh man, do I love those. I need to get another one just as a backup. I absolutely adore Pentel's Brush Pen. And it doesn't dry out on me on gouache like some of my fine liners tend to. And that's part of why I love it so much. But yeah, so what do you guys think of this? You know, where do you escape to in your dreams? Or, you know, what's your form of escape? I'd love to know. Thanks you guys for watching. That's pretty much all I have to say about this piece. I hope none of you have a cold out there. And I hope that you're having an amazing week no matter where you are and what you're doing. So have a good one, guys, and I will see you with the next prompt. See you later. Bye, guys.